Today we're going to talk about why you should go to college. A lot of people out there debating going to college, saying you just graduated high school, you've been working a few years after you graduated, whatever, you might be 80 years old, and you're saying, you know what, I'm not sure if I should go to college. Why should I go to college? And I'm going to tell you why you should go to college. So number one, going to college increases your earning potential. Over the lifetime, a person with a bachelor's degree tends to make $1 million more. It's better to get a college degree because your jobs simply pay more. And that's almost regardless of what your degree is, you'll make more money. So that's the number one reason. Number two is job security. If you have a bachelor's degree, you have about a 5.5% chance less of being fired from a job if you do the exact same thing wrong that somebody without a bachelor's degree has. Just the notion that the person has the degree makes them more acceptable in the workforce. It also means that people with a degree tend to be able to get away with a little bit more at the job than people without them. They're given more leeway, and so you have an increase of job security, believe it or not. The number three reason is great health insurance, or at least some health insurance. People with college degrees are 82% more likely to have health insurance for them and their family as opposed to those who either didn't go to college or only has a high school degree or a diploma. Regardless of the fact, you are more likely to have health insurance for you and your family with a college degree than without one. Number four reason is pretty obvious with going to college. You learn something new. You learn a skill you didn't learn. Now, don't get me wrong, not everybody out there with a psychology degree learned how to be a psychologist, but it at least teaches you, and they'll tell you over and over and over again, you are more well-rounded, meaning you can basically function in different environments that you couldn't function in before. That's a big part of going to college. Number five is for people with social skills, making lasting connections. When you go to college, you tend to make friends for life. And I'm not talking about friends you had in high school that tend to fit around. I'm talking about lifelong friends. You have a much richer social experience in college than you ever can imagine in high school or any other place, going to the local bar or anything like that. And so basically, you have a much higher standard of friendship and mental capacity and mental stability, really, going to college. Now, that's not across the board, but this is overall. So number six, and this actually should go hand in hand, but people that graduate from college and have a bachelor's degree have a much higher percentage of starting their own business. Whether you graduate college or not is irregardless. It's the fact that you went to college that gives you a leg up on starting your own business, basically. Something goes along with people with bachelor's degrees and starting businesses, or those with at least some college experience starting business. It basically means you have the ability to do it, you know it, you can finish it, and here you go. Number seven on this particular list is expanding your career options. Now, let's say you just graduated high school. You've been a manager at a restaurant or something like that. You're pretty much stuck with that skill. So whatever skills you've learned to develop after high school, that's your niche. But going to college allows you to choose what path you take. So if you have the hankering to learn Mandarin Chinese, you can do that and become a master of Mandarin Chinese and work as a translator in Mandarin Chinese if you feel like it. You can basically choose whatever you feel like. I went to college, I have a degree in anthropology. I'm getting a master's degree in nonprofit management because I wanted to start my own nonprofit. I was able to choose that. So college gives you the ability to choose your direction. You don't have to have it picked for you, or you don't have to pick from a list of basically crappy jobs that you don't want. So let's say you have a degree or a diploma from high school, and you say, I could be an auto mechanic, I could do this at a restaurant, I could do this and this. Well, let's say you don't want to do any of those things. Well, without a degree, you're stuck in those fields. But if you have a degree, you now have the ability to at least choose something different that you may enjoy. So your freedom for choice of jobs really increases. Number eight reason is most of the time, believe it or not, according to research, you have a 55% chance of meeting your, quote, soulmate, marriage, life partner, whatever it is, at college than you did in high school. A lot of people say, well, it's a high school sweetheart and they got married and whatever. Those tend to end in divorce much higher than those people that meet in college. So if you married your high school sweetheart, it doesn't mean you're going to get divorced, but you have about a 30% chance more of being divorced than if you met your soulmate in college. Believe it or not, something with education allows people to stay together longer, but what's funny is as the education increases, as you get a master's and a doctorate, that actually changes. So I don't know if it's boredom or what, but that's how it is. Number 9 and 10, I'm going to put together in this under this blanket term of broadening your horizons. Now, obviously, number 9, broaden your horizons. It broadens your horizons as far as learning something new, meeting people you haven't ever seen before, different languages, cultures, blah, 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 all this kind of crap. Okay, that's understandable. But in my particular case, broadening my horizons means one thing special, and I'm going to end the video with this because this is very important. When you go to college, there's actually rewards for doing well in college. If you're on a student loan system, if you get a high GPA, you get more money to live off of because they see that you're academically fit, so they pay you more as time goes on. If you go to get a master's degree, you can actually get your graduate degree paid for through scholarships, just like a bachelor's degree, and you can get student loans for both if you feel like it. You're not limited. Believe it or not, people think that they see the financial aid thing, they don't know what they're doing, and they lose all hope. You're not limited. It's very easy. You can go online and find out if you're eligible. But broadening your horizons, in my sense, meant I had a 3.75 GPA when I was in my undergraduate, and I was able to do something that a lot of people aren't able to do. I was able to go study overseas while I was in college. So I was at a university here in the United States, and I was able to take a 6-month hiatus from that and go to Australia to a university there and bring that credit I got back to the United States as overseas, basically overseas education. I went to the University of Queensland because of a high GPA, and that's something that you could not have done with a high school diploma, period. I'm sorry, but if you have a high school diploma and you're a manager at a tchotchkes like restaurant, you're not going to get the opportunity to go to Australia unless you save a stuff ton of money, and that's just how it is. But being in college, there's something called the International Affairs or International Office, and you can go there and you can petition to basically go overseas for a semester using financial aid. So a lot of people don't realize this. Usually you have to be a junior to do something like this with a high GPA, 3.5 or higher. But if you possess those, go to your international office and see if you can go overseas. I'm telling you, stick with it, go get a degree. It will be worth your time. Thanks for watching this. Don't forget to subscribe.